This is TBK's Truth Frame, revealing the echoes of history across our
Jallianwala Bagh, the day the earth stood still, April 13, 1919. The gathering before the storm. On the evening of April 13, 1919, the city of Amritsar pulsed with the energy of Baisakhi, one of Punjab's most sacred harvest festivals. Families, farmers, traders, and pilgrims streamed into the city, unaware that history was preparing to carve their names into a chapter written in blood. But beneath the festive air, the soil trembled with political tension. Just weeks earlier, the British colonial government had passed the Rowlatt Acts, extending wartime emergency powers that allowed imprisonment without trial, laws that Indians across the country saw as a betrayal of their wartime sacrifices. In Amritsar, the arrest of two beloved leaders Saifuddin Kichlu and Satyapal ignited protests, anger, and fear. Into this fragile moment walked thousands of ordinary people seeking community, prayer, and hope. They entered Jallianwala Bagh, a walled garden hemmed in by buildings on three sides, with only a single narrow exit. No one imagined that this enclosed space would become a killing ground. The March of the Empire. Brigadier General Reginald Edward Harry Dyer, a man shaped by the British fear of rebellion since the 1857 uprising, believed he was the last line of defense against an imagined Indian revolt. He marched into the Bagh with 90 soldiers, Gurkhas and Sikh infantrymen of the British Indian Army. He did not issue a warning. He did not ask the crowd to disperse. He did not negotiate.
Loser.
He blocked the only exit. Then he gave a command that would echo across centuries. Fire! Fire! The massacre. The soldiers raised their Lee-Enfield rifles and unleashed a storm of bullets into the unarmed crowd, men, women, children, pilgrims, and peaceful protesters trapped with nowhere to run. People fell in heaps. People leapt into the well to escape the bullets. People shielded their children with their bodies. Dyer ordered his men to fire until their ammunition was nearly exhausted, about 1,650 rounds in 10 minutes of uninterrupted slaughter. The official British count claimed 379 dead, but Indian estimates placed the number at 1,000 to 1,500 killed, with over 1,200 wounded. The garden became a graveyard. The silence after the gunfire. When the firing stopped, Dyer did not allow medical aid. He did not allow families to collect their dead. He did not express regret. He later said, "I did it to produce a moral effect. I did it to produce a moral effect." But the effect was not submission. It was awakening. The massacre shattered the last threads of Indian faith in British justice. It marked a turning point in the independence struggle, pushing Mahatma Gandhi toward full commitment to Swaraj, complete independence. Even in Britain, the event caused shock. Winston Churchill condemned it as unutterably monstrous. Yet the empire never apologized. Even a century later, Britain has expressed only deep regret, not accountability. Why Jallianwala Bagh still matters. Jallianwala Bagh is not just an Indian tragedy. It is a universal warning. It reveals what happens when an empire fears the people it rules. It exposes the brutality hidden beneath the language of order and civilization. It reminds us that memory is resistance. For Truth Frame, this story stands as a testament to the cost of freedom, the danger of unchecked power, the resilience of a people who refuse to be broken. The soil of Amritsar still holds the echoes of that day. The soil of Amritsar still holds the echoes of that day. And every retelling keeps those voices alive. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre gives a grim reminder of how far the empire went to maintain their grip on their colonies. It exposes the brutal logic that underpinned imperial rule. When persuasion failed, fear would be manufactured. When voices rose, they would be silenced. When a people began to imagine freedom, violence would be deployed to force them back into submission. Yet, in trying to crush a movement, the empire only revealed its own moral bankruptcy. What happened in that enclosed garden did more than stain the soil with blood. It shattered the illusion of benevolent rule that Britain had carefully crafted for generations. The bullets fired that day tore through bodies, but they also tore through the facade of empire, revealing the raw machinery of domination beneath. And in doing so, they awakened something irreversible in the hearts of millions. For the survivors, for the families who mourned, and for the countless others who heard the echoes of that gunfire across the subcontinent, Jallianwala Bagh became a turning point. It transformed grief into resolve, humiliation into unity, and fear into a fierce, unyielding demand for self-determination. The empire had hoped to intimidate a nation into obedience. Instead, it ignited a fire that would burn until independence was won. As we close this chapter, we carry forward not only the memory of those who fell, but the lesson their sacrifice etched into history, that no empire, however vast or violent, can extinguish a people's longing for dignity and freedom. Jallianwala Bagh stands as a testament to both the depths of colonial cruelty and the extraordinary resilience of those who refused to bow before it.
Thank you for stepping into this frame of truth. If this story moved you, share it forward and help restore the voices time tried to erase. Until the next episode, stay curious, stay compassionate, and keep the memory alive.